All right. All right. So for our smart notebook, we did which path should you take? And this is by Danny, Justin, Elizabeth, and Emma. And it's just basically pathways. It's a life skill for 10th and 11th graders. It'd be a 55-minute presentation or one class period. And then just really understanding of the next steps after high school graduation. And this would be just for the ELA literacy, pursue opportunities to engage and learn interest, ask questions and learn more about careers and other life pursuits, and connect careers and other life pursuits to personal interests. Learning objectives, students will begin using critical thinking skills. Students will be able to start to make educated decisions about their futures. And we just feel that this is kind of overlooked a lot of the times with students when they kind of get towards the end of their kind of careers, basically in high school. So in the sense, will be able to understand the common misconceptions associated with post-secondary options. So there's a lot of things that we want to kind of make them feel comfortable about, and then also just so that they have a better understanding and know what their options are going forward.
And then here we just have like the starting slide, just giving them like an overview of what the whole lesson is going to be and giving them a question to think about as they go through the lesson.
All right, and on this slide is where we started to introduce some different options or pathways for after high school. And we wanted to include more of the pros of each of these situations and allow them to kind of think on it for a minute and then go into more of the pros and cons deeper into the next slide.
So with the KWLQ, as it kind of loads up here, what are the different paths that you can take after graduation? This will just allow the students to kind of tell you what they know, what they really want to know about some of the pros, what they've learned so far, and then obviously a lot of the questions that they might have. This question one's going to be a real big piece because that's just where they're going to get their understanding of what their next steps would be. And we just feel that this will really start to kind of open up the conversation for the kids and really start to get their minds to really think about what next steps they would want going forward after post-secondary. This is just kind of a quick response, just to kind of make sure that they're engaged. How many pathways are there for you after graduation? This would just be kind of a quick piece where they can kind of pick and see what they feel. Sometimes, even though we've given them a bunch of pros, they might only feel that there's only 4 pathways for them, or 6 or 8. So there's not like a set number. We just really want them to get an idea and gauge where they're at with that, so that we can kind of show them that there's more options. If they only pick 2, hey, there's more. Even though you might have 2 in your head, we want them to know that there's more options.
All right, in this slide, we decided to give them an opportunity to brainstorm more into what path they want to take. And this is just to, hopefully at this point, they're starting to think more deeper into a specific path or maybe a few. And this allows them to get their thoughts down and think about it a little bit more. And then coming in from earlier in the presentation, this is a chance for them to go into the pros and cons of the path that they're thinking about, path or paths. And again, we didn't really give them any of the cons because we wanted to start them on thinking of the more positives. And now is where they can really start getting into positive and negatives for each path that they're thinking.
So with this interactive activity, it basically talks about some of the common facts associated with college and trade school. So you would have to match them up based on what occupations you can get through either trade school or college, the amount of time that they take, the amount of money, whether you get a diploma or a certificate, things of that nature. So it's going to be one from each side. There you go. That kind of match up with each other. Yeah, so I think that one's plumber.
Is that?
Plumber and teacher. I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And then, so 3 to 18 months versus 4 years, one of which being for trade school and the other being for college.
Sweet.
So this activity, obviously for students, they would use their code to log in so they can actually interact with it. I wish it would show the thing. It's a bunch of squares with arrows to help students visualize the steps needed in order to make these plans and goals for their future, such as, for instance, applying for college. Like, how would you apply for college? Like, number one, you would figure out what you think you want to study, where you would want to go to school, how you would apply for that. Next, you would have to talk to an advisor, then get an appointment with financial aid to figure out all the finances of it and scholarships available to you. So this is just a tool for students to use to really map out what steps they should take. So this is more of a short answer quiz based off of the activity they would have done a minute ago. What steps need to be in place to create goals and to start making progress towards those goals? There's 4 other questions in there as well. Based on the information gathered from today, what are you considering about your future? This is just a forum for students to really think about what they want to do and get those thoughts on paper. Just asking if their thoughts for the future have changed or stayed the same and why. And then also, what do you think the first steps are to start making plans for the future, whether that be applying for college or a job or trade school?
And then this one is just coming to a conclusion. Just to wrap things up a little bit, and then towards the end, there's the question, what is the best path for myself, which is the question we originally asked in the beginning. So just gives them, a time to reflect and really think about if they've gotten a path for themselves, and then any questions or comments that they have, they can share as well. And then here at the end, we have some helpful resources that they can look into at the moment or after class. It just helps them. We gave them all the options, and we also wanted to give them resources on how to actually go through with these options. And they can just click on the on the links, and the links takes them to more general information and ways to actually apply to college or search for a job or apply to the military.
So then at the end, how do you feel about the topic? Do you know what you're going to do? Obviously, you're very excited. B, they would just be like, I'm kind of torn between 2 paths. C, I still have questions about what I need to get done. Or D, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me some more. I'm freaking out. So just some more visual keys, to be able to do those things. This is our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. We are excited to be able to take this into the classroom and to be able to get our students ready to go for the next level. Thank you.